on privatization of higher education in India and social justice. The talk will be delivered by Professor at G. Bhamri, sir. What Professor Bhamri? Professor G. Bhamri is retired as a professor and chairperson of Center for Higher Education, and also the Dean of School of Education at PSS Bombay. He joined PSS faculty body in year 1983 and he served the institute for 25 years. He was also the Dean of Social Protection Office. He served the office for almost 25 years. Sir's area of research has been exclusion in the higher education space, and also about education and social status of scheduled caste in Maharashtra. He has co-authored a book with Jitendra Kumar Kushwaha called Discrimination in Higher Education. I will start to Dr.
And friends, it's my privilege to be with you, and I am happy that such a event has been organized here by the students. I am personally very thankful to the organizers, including this visit, for inviting me. After for some time, and there will be some exploratory question and answer session. I will be happy to entertain those questions. And I feel very attached because I retired from here, and it's my privilege. Many of you are someone who know me or may not know me. That part, I welcome you all for this. I wish strongly, I told him, Sridhar and others also, he has his schools to organize such events. Can you manage that? At least once in a month. Devesh has been in touch with me. I congratulate him also. Before I start, I would like to say this, that this is not an academic intellectual debate and discussion. And I want to be away from that because academics is enough to you. I know what it is in the ISIS. But academics alone doesn't help you and me anyway. So we are going by facts and figures, social facts, political facts, reservation facts, or your higher education, and also these facilities provided to the students and scholars across the categories, social categories. First of all, let me begin. I am here 40 minutes or 45 minutes. I will try and finish or cover the points I have decided to cover, followed by the question and answer. I think it's difficult because the topic is very, very vast and it's very difficult to do the justice to the topic. But still then I will try and highlight the major points that are concerning and bothering you. Those who are in favor of and those who are not in favor of. I am compelled to use this language because the whole environment of the country is such that one cannot really harm. Friends, let me tell you, based on my life experiences, professional experiences, I am telling you that Indian society and Indian culture is full of contradictions. We are living in contradictions, socially, intellectually, academically, and also educationally and materially in normal ways. Because the history of the society has been such, education is the only viable alternative where majority Indian population is socially, educationally deprived, 80% of the population. And the very base of the special incentives, facilities has been social and educational backwardness. It's not true that the reservation facilities have been or are only for scheduled caste and tribes. They are also for the OBCs. They are also for the minorities. But the interpretations went wrong because the political lobbies and the government then, from the beginning, has been, controversial due to some their political benefits. I say this Indian population, I divide as a sociologist categorically into two categories, which is based on caste, and hence caste beneficiaries of the caste who are in minority and victims of the caste who are in majority. Now the degree of victimization differs from caste to caste and community to community and religion to religion because of their social position in the society. Now, actually, non-academically speaking, this is the struggle between the beneficiaries and non-beneficiaries of the caste. And because of that benefits, the social and the cultural capital one enjoys. Yeah, it is in this context we have to understand prioritization of why only call the higher education. Prioritization of education. Let me categorically also mention that prioritization to me is nothing but the new recipe for further exclusion. And the facilities of fellowship, scholarship, facilities, material facilities, non-material facilities is not a favor. It's a constitutional mandate, and it is not only in this country. Mind you, I have been telling to the friends, students, and the basic problem with me and you is, especially with you, is that we awake only when the fire takes place. Otherwise, you keep mum, because I am getting fellowship. It's all right. No, this approach has been from the day one. I have mentioned this in my publication also, works also, that there has been no strong, rather there has been very, very big pressure group. There is no pressure group. Pressure group for better, proper, timely implementation of the projects. No political pressure, no social pressure, no intellectual pressure, no academic pressure. Now, to support this or to understand this, there are three categories of educated Indians. One is those who really support him from the bottom of heart and those who are inside. Second is those who support but passively. Third is those who pretend to support. Actually, they don't support. They want to show that they are liberal and progressive. Actually, they are not. Third is the open category who are against it. Now, the question is the exclusionary among the groups who are stakeholders. Scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, OBCs, minorities, women. Each category is exclusive to each other. One is built upon the other. Higher the lower. Many of you know, some of you know, we talk of scheduled caste. The basic literacy of social history or social facts is missing out from your agenda syllabus. This is a social work institute, predominantly. Now, including the faculty colleagues, whom I respect very much, who will be able to tell me the fundamental difference between, basic legal difference, constitutional difference between the OBC and the scheduled caste? I'm not testing your knowledge, but please see that you understand the differences. Now the scheduled castes also have a hierarchy. They are past 1092 scheduled castes officially recognized in the country. Maharashtra 9, tribals 586 in the country. Maharashtra 45. Now this is the example. What I say is that majority higher education takers today in this country from all these communities are still, majority of them are first generation learners. Mind you, Mumbai Tata is not the representative of higher education. And they being first generation learners suffer from various handicaps. Those handicaps are multiple. First is within the higher education point, the language of English. That debars you. In one single stroke, majority of them will be barred different. Second is, it is urban based, biased, not based, biased. Higher education is urban biased. It is reach bias, it is gender bias, it is caste bias, and it is language barriers. Now to overcome this, and having overcome this all, I see evolving. And to compete along with these handicaps, with others who come from minority and conventional, traditional, monopolizing community or the groups. Then, higher education. Majority, all these communities at the high level of education go in for general education. What is that general education? Art, science, commerce. These are the facts I have carried with me. In fact, I will forward the mail to Sri and will forward to all, including history, philosophy, implementation, administration, impacts. The person who has done is the retired secretary of 1959 IS batch, who is in there. I know him personally since I was studying engineering. My question is this: there are two things. One, those who are not in favor. Let me use the language today, because it's not academic discourse. And those who are against it. Those who are not in favor and those who are in favor. Now those who are not in favor of such provisions, have you ever tried, we tried to know why they are against it. They are against it because it is their status quo gets challenged, domination gets challenged, power gets challenged, social, cultural and intellectual power gets challenged. Two, there is no willpower, whoever the government is. The whole issue has been politicized, secondly, because it got converted into vote banks. Third is social biases and insensitiveness without having knowledge about the basics. Why the policy? Why these provisions? Next is the stakeholders, majority are rural based, hence gross unawareness among them. And lastly, all stupid nonsensical conditions and criteria to be able to avail what is provided. 25 years ago, I have evaluated the post-graduate scholarship for 3 states for the same ministry. At that time I recommended the income criteria condition should be at par with the price index and the amount should be at par with the cost of living. They are not implemented. Let me humbly tell you, I have been lucky or unlucky to be associated at national level at various high profile committees, including 12th five-year plan. Believe me, last 2 meetings of the 12th five-year plan drafting committee I did boycott in protest. Now the problem is there is no appropriate strong representation at policy level, at planning level. And second, all these factors I have given, the reasons I have given, that biases and insensitiveness and political, politicization of the issue and all that. Now the question is, let me tell you, being in the education field, even today, if 100 children get enrolled at first standard, how many of them reach 10th standard? Around 20. Rest drop. Out of these 20, how many would be the private schools, lower schools? How many would be the ST? How many would be the OBC? How many would be the minority, particularly the Muslim minority? Don't think of this. Don't think of this. Now people think they are getting anything and everything without doing any effort. That's the psyche. That's the socialization. And those who get it, they say, "Bhai, samay pe milta nahi hai." It's very inadequate. Now, even the institute, there are people, including faculty members, जो कहते हैं कि इनके लाड भाव कितने करने हैं. I headed the social protection office for 25 years. I know what it is. Now, the withdrawal of the facilities is not the issue of withdrawal of the non-next fellowship. That's one top, the small tip of the iceberg. all the OBC facilities are being withdrawn. All the privatization has come in. If my son or my son get enrolled into DY party, I have to pay entire fees. Where the state government is supposed to pay. They are stopping. Post-matric scholarship is a mess. That's a major source of educational survival. That is, next is how does higher education help? One, it is sure to achieve social, occupational, social and economic mobility. Because of the privatization, what private sectors demand is not being supplied. And that demand supply controversy or contradictions are because of your quality of education. Quality not in terms of that merit and quality. Quality in terms of basic skills. I'm not responsible for this. It is the policy makers and implementers who are responsible for this. It is the paradigm of social sciences that open the doors first time for all the category of students and with the very specific facilities provision to them. Unlike any other use. I was head of that section that time. Now the question is, if it is withdrawn, all the facilities are slowly getting withdrawn. They are withdrawing it. What do we do? What do we do? My expectations from you all are, those who are in support or in opposition, to be first to get into the basic literacy of the issue. Second is coordination at the national level. Third is down to the state level and division of the work. Someone will look at only the political side, someone at the social, someone at the implementation, someone at the collecting fact, data. Whatever is published in the media, print media in particular or the television, electronic, there are no answers to that. Why students like you, who are very high level profile academicians or students, there is no answer, there are no answers. And the monopoly of using the language, which generally is complicated, full of jargons, and whatever is suitable, convenient to them, they do the research like that, they teach you like that, they publish like that, and whatever you like, you want to expect me to speak like that. That's the Indian tradition. Indian tradition culture doesn't have the tradition of debate and dialogue. Unfortunately. I have experienced this experience of debate and dialogue abroad. I have been fortunate enough, I am first generation learner in my family. To be at the Oxford, Cambridge, LSE, Bradford, so many. And I have seen the difference. We have imitated everything, but not the values. Value of openness and freeness and frankness. Like a professor is not spared if he talks which is not accepted. You are not encouraged to be talking against the teachers in the class. In that sense. And you talk and write what the teacher likes. There is no real critical essence of the issue you are dealing with. Now, next is, you are prospective scholars. What are the areas you propose to undertake for your further research and field of PhD? That will decide. My basic worry is where this country is going to go in the coming 10 years or decade. Where this country is going to go in terms of education, higher education. Who goes for technical professional education? What is the situation in IITs and IIMs and NAIMS? Recently, I was examiner for a thesis at the New Park. And the thesis was completed by the scholar who belonged to the reserve category. And this thesis was the IIT Shirupka thesis. And he didn't get data for last 2 years, Finally, he got the data somehow through RTE and all. So my question, IITs and IIMs are what? They are super to everything. I know what happens. guy, Delhi and Bombay also. Because I studied in AU and there have been close interaction with them. Now, the issue is, why such a situation has arisen at all? Because government or whoever finds them easy to pull it. They know they are weak, they can't do it. There is no voice. What are your MPs doing? What are your ministers doing? Whichever party they belong to? What are, let me tell you, before I forget, the most sufferers from higher education in this country today is first the Muslim community, with due respect. There are no studies, there are no issues known, they organize something else. The Muslim elites are self-satisfied, self-centered, followed by the OBCs, being the largest category. OBCs are the largest category in number, but the poor is very poorly represented. Parliament is dominated by OBC MPs. Every time, they are in majority. What do this mean? Parliamentary committee for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, Home Minister, MHRD Minister, Secretary for SC/ST Commission, scheduled caste and now scheduled tribe commission, Minority Commission, OBC Commission. What do they do? When I was in job 2 years back, I went to Delhi 2-3 times and made the OBC Commission the secretary. वो क्या बोलते हैं साहब उनको application नहीं आती क्या? I'll tell you what these people do. The flow of implementation of the post-graduate scholarship or whatever policy schemes from central to state. It goes to state. The money is allocated to the states. I'm telling you the actual function. States are supposed to contribute 25% to what they notify the central government. State government do not contribute, rather this 75% they divert to something else. And nobody asks them. Who will be able to ask them? And why not they are able to ask them? Same thing has happened to me in the Minority Commission. And I don't blame them. I blame them afterwards, but before that, I want to blame the prospective beneficiaries. आपको मुस्लिम कम्युनिटीज के लिए क्या-क्या फैसिलिटीज है? To study in India and abroad मालूम है? OBC के लिए क्या है? SC/ST के लिए क्या है? उसके लिए मुझे क्या करना है? किसके पास जाना है? कितना? Believe me, I was at the 12th fire plan. I told you. There it was reported that 11th fire plan, 45 to 55% budget allocated for these communities has gone unutilized. This is horse's mouth, please. I'm not. Anybody from media here? You are?
Media.
Huh?
Media and cultural studies.
अरे यार मीडिया बाहर का मीडिया, ये मीडिया एंड कल्चर नहीं है. What happens whenever you write, the reporters conveniently ignore the intense, the real points. बाकी उनको जो conveniently वो publish करते हैं. Now the NIPA has brought out a volume, it may come out message, where the experts have contributed various issues in the name of new education policy, new higher education policy in India or in Mumbai. Now, policy implications. I have contributed social groups and the higher education disparities. What and why? Why those disparities? Social groups is SC, ST, OBC and the minority. And the question is, one graduate in India, even today, one graduate woman is equal to lakhs of Indian knowledge. You are where, don't forget this, you are where you are asset to the country, to the nation, to the first to your community. Now, reservation policy and privatization. There was a committee, bill is pending in the parliament, mind you, because people there are insisting for implementation of the policy in the private sector. All the industrial lobbies are against it. But they formed the counter committee called Affirmative Action Committee, Rahul Bajaj, Mr. Rahul Bajaj chaired that. He's still a chair in the chair. Coincidentally or unfortunately, I happened to be at the committee including RI. I attended two meetings. Now tell me, Mr. Rahul Bajaj, what does he know about the issue? Why they are against it? That means they equate reservation policy with no performance, no quality, and unnecessary. They want the cream, they want the merit. What is that cream and what is that merit? I have experienced it here for 5, 6, 7 years that the students who belong to a rural background, vernacular background, poor family, used to get admitted under open merit category with others. I am the witness, and there is a witness. Records you can check. The only thing is that the mandatory point is to appoint, and if you best among the whoever applies, there are 5 positions. You cannot say not constable. So 1990 में बहुत चलता था, D reservation होता था. October then, now among the 5, you select the best one, and still you find him not to be doing well. You must train him on. That's the mandatory clause in the Constitution. I have got this book for you to see. This is old copy. Reservations and concessions for scheduled class, scheduled tribe, OBCs, ex-servicemen, sportsmen, and physically handicapped. I would urge you very earnestly to read this carefully. What we are taught that quota, category guy. That's all. But we are not to think beyond or before. Why this reservation policy at all has come up? It is not the Constitution that is brought into the policy. It is not the Constitution. It began with 1921 with the state of Kolhapur and Travancore and so many. It was taken over by government up into the Constitution. And OBC category missed the bus because of the political crisis among and between the government and themselves. So the problem is your fellowship, non-net fellowship is one issue, and you cannot afford to fight along with only this particular one issue. You should not. There are interlinked and interdependent issues. So social, political, administrative, reservation policy, and then this requires a very strong national level struggle. उसके बगैर काम नहीं होगा. But now the question is, who will build the gap? And how to build the gap? The gap between you and me. ये मुस्लिम है, शेड्यूल कास्ट है, ये ट्राइब है, ये ओबीसी. ये थाली में खाना खा पाएंगे हम? किस पे खा लेंगे? बाहर नहीं खा. Now the question is, the benefits I have enjoyed out of my caste, the losses I have suffered because of my caste, or because of my gender, or because of my religion. The worst situation today I am repeating is among the Muslims, followed by the OBCs. Scheduled caste now somehow, but still they are among those 20 who survived up to 10. But the article in June Indian Express, study on education among the STs in Maharashtra. Now the PPW is may come out any time. From that report, I have developed the article on higher education among the scheduled class of Maharashtra. Now this is not to say that you read my works. My only contention is this. My only request and appeal to you is this: you have to be really alert. You have to do the homework heavily, and you have to be very active and organized, and you have to be following the mission of persuasion for convince others, including the government, politicians. Unfortunately, you are at the young age, at the wrong time, politically, socially, in this country. I am telling you very frankly. Now the question is, policies, facilities are withdrawn. Be it your non-native fellowship or junior, senior fellowship, whatever it is. What will happen to them? There will be no papers of higher education at high level of education for these communities. Now, these facilities are compensation. Right? Let's call it compensation periods of rates for centuries together. And no government, no constitution is doing the favor. Please stop me when the time is up. Who's that? Stop me. Okay, time. 10 minutes more to go. Alright. Now, please keep in mind, I am not talking like a conventional academician or straightforward. No, we have. Now, let's be open for this to understand each other. The dialogue must take place and we will share and will not be offended. But it's importantly that the government of India and the state governments, I'll tell you, regional differences are so much, so wide. See, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Kerala, and Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh, and Maharashtra. Now, regional differences, gender differences, and the caste differences. Now, another, that work is there. The effort is that the reservation policy strengthens the caste system. Is it true? Yes? True, huh? Yeah? So, what is that result in the life of one person and the society? Doesn't strengthen your caste. What is that? If you say so, what can you tell me? Don't sit here and dining on. Let me tell you, your romance and love, your language, your marriage, your dress, your elegance, sophistication, everything is based on caste. Your business, politics is based on caste. Why are you pointing out only the reservation policy? Am I right or wrong? If I am wrong, go back to the library after the lecture and open the Times of India and Mandal Commission. See, even in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, Christians, Catholic, advertise matrimony, Brahmin, Catholic. Yes or no? How many intercaste marriages take place in India? Especially in the states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. पिटाई हो जाएगी तो मारना पड़ेगा, खाप पंचायत. Now, the point begins from here. That's the point I'm making. Sir, I don't believe in caste. I don't know my caste. But your name and surname and the language and your residence there is your caste. आप कहाँ रहते हो? आपका सरनेम भट्टाचार्य, मुखर्जी, चटर्जी, दुबे, चौबे, तिवारी है, पांडे है, तो आपको कोई चमार नहीं कहेगा. और चमार को कोई ब्राह्मण नहीं कहेगा. It's a harsh reality. I'm telling you. The moment you speak your language, you are labeled. Surname, name, surname. These are all indicators of your caste. You want to give up that and you want to say, I don't believe in caste. Same thing happening to the present government and the people, same thing happening to me and you. My basic concern is that let's prepare ourselves thoroughly and properly. And rationally, not emotionally. Out of bias. Are we prepared to do? No. Because my socialization begins at my home from my mother in the kitchen. And what is the socialization? To teach me my caste and to tell me lies. I'm sorry to use, given about my own. हम झूठ बोलना कहाँ सीखते हैं? सबसे पहले घर में तो सीखते हैं ना, माँ ही सिखाते हैं ना. बेटा बोल दो घर में नहीं है, फोन पे वो बाप घर में होता है, मम्मी बोलती है बेटा घर में नहीं है, तेरे घर में बोल. It begins from there. Now how to come out of this? I am not expecting sudden change from that point. No, it takes its time. Education has been the best endeavors so far because there has been no alternative. education to minimize these differences and discriminations. Now, education पे अभी रोज के खाना, वो भी अपने खाना. Now, is it possible for you to sit together with males and men and the women from different region, caste or language together like this? You can do this only in the educational institutions, not outside. No. The question is also, if you have seen the, what do you call that, government India election, they have valid Christians have separate places, separate devas, valid Sikhs have separate gurudwaras. I have seen in Punjab. We call ourselves secular. Are we really secular? Now, which Hinduism I talk about? Let me directly. I don't mean what you are feeling. I will speak. But let's put the question: which Hinduism? Then go single Hinduism. They must answer first. Why did Dr. Ambedkar choose to change the religion? They should answer that first. Even today in India, you will see your sect is carried on the head of woman. So shame on me. How can I sleep? How can I afford to sleep silently with peace and happiness? Can I? इस दुनिया में कहीं भी नहीं. तो सही ये भी है ना कि भाई today even in states like Maharashtra, there are people who fill their bellies by eating dead animals, mutton, fish, flesh. आपको मालूम है? आप मेरे साथ चलिए. Now the issue, why people don't raise this issue when they raise the issue or they stop the scholarship of facilities? What do they do? It's the prime, basic, fundamental responsibility of the government to provide safety, security, food, health, education, dignity, which is missing because Dr. Ambedkar said that the democracy that is being introduced is a palace. But the palace is standing on the basement of the full of cow dung, which may collapse anytime. It's very true. Is it a democracy? Am I allowed to? Is a man allowed to speak or to do what he does? Now, the question is, Marathi में बोलते हैं बड़ी तो कान में. जिसकी हाथ में लाठी उसकी भैंस हिंदी में बोलते. So the question is, let us, spare 1 hour money to get into this. Wait, organize a session like this. Invite people, not me always, anybody who becomes appropriate to discuss the issues. Informally, all the open air there. Not to be for a cup of tea, a bath cup. वैसे भी आप 24 घंटे तो पढ़ा रही आई होगी बार किसी ने अनदर यूनिवर्सिटी स्टूडेंट्स आपका बहुत सारा होता है असाइनमेंट फील्ड वर्क ये वो सारा होता है. अगर आप नहीं करोगे तो कौन करेगा? आप बताइए. Who will do for you? Now, privatization of higher education is going to very clearly cut vertically the society because those who are into making the decisions to privatize education are in power. Not only the political power. Please remember, who is a businessman in India, industrialist in India? Those who have been traditionally businessmen. Who is the, what you call, who is rich here? Who have been traditionally rich? Who is the landlord owning 500 acres of land, 1,000 acres of land? Very little. Tradition. Others were not allowed to keep the property. Why do you forget this? And they are rich because I am poor. I am poor because they are rich. Very straightforward. कोई सड़क पे काम करके राहुल बजाज नहीं बनता, अनिल अंबानी नहीं बनती. पूछता है. There are some issues of points of manipulations. Very ground level factual analysis. You are free to ask me the question or question the question, my statement also. But the question is this. Higher education, let me come back to higher education. Higher education perpetuates inequality. Same time, there is no viable alternative to higher education, but same time, it perpetuates inequality at all the levels. It's based on stratification, social stratification, rather educational stratification. Yes? St. Xavier, St. Stephen's, and the college here in the slum. Can you compare? TISS and the Bhagalpur University. Can you compare? Why this stratification? Why people don't talk and don't discuss this? Academically, intellectually, politically, in the parliament or outside parliament. And you also. You are highly privileged to be at the institute. I didn't study here. But the problem is, my MA degree or PhD degree, and then my job, and then my marriage, and then my home, and then my bache, my car, and my flat. This is universal. I have applied to me also. But the problem is this, that I want to hear what are the facilities provided by the government to study abroad. Are you going? The whole budget, 1952, in the year 1952, Ambedkar got introduced the scholarship for SC and ST to study abroad 5 years anywhere in the world. All paisa would be expenses would be borne by the government. Number of scholarships then was 2. Now it is 30. Small questions. Why that? And it's not only for SC, it's for all categories. There are n number of funding agencies. My question is that if you are not aware, please be aware of what is available. And if anyone wishes to take up this empirically, make the experiment on the issues, I will be very happy to informally guide that how many PCS students think that all the SC students who study get everything automatically. Don't have to make efforts. Don't have to fulfill any crime. How many common Indians do that? And another thing is, discrimination in education is grossly increasing. See the suicide cases. And other than that, discrimination in the classroom, in the grades, in the admissions, in the what you call that, presentations or whatever you call it. Now, discrimination based on caste. Now, all this discrimination issue may be a non-issue for you. What is that? क्या है उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? यही ना? But ask those. There are hundreds of studies on scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. There are not enough studies on education of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and OBCs or minorities, particularly in this. And higher education is grossly neglected from day one in India. All the planning, policies and plannings, 5-year plans, including the academic and intellectual debates and this work. No one knows. I told you, government, the NSS to make any data you want to do. That is all according to the manipulation. To suit their interest, their business. Why don't you counter that? If it is so, please counter that. Counter academically, intellectually, and rationally. The voice against, voice for protest is very, very minimal and poor. I am not against any caste, any religion, or any person. But the only thing is this, that the gap between you and me. What is that gap? That excludes us intellectually, mentally, socially, emotionally. What is that? What are those points? It begins with your class. Necessary. And I pretend to be, I don't believe in caste. Yes, you don't believe in caste. Better to change your surname first, which indicates your caste. Start from there. I will not advise you to marry into caste. That's your choice. But then when it happens, no, it is your choice. there have been movements for intercaste marriages, at least in Maharashtra. Dr. Malcolm and others have formally made the efforts to have intercaste. Even now the government, encourages some many incentives for intercaste marriages. Now the question is this: what is that intercaste marriage? Between whom? Now, unless, although it is a personal matter, I don't want to interfere in it, but the social obligation, socially speaking, if you marry outside your caste, I used to announce when I was still retired in the public discourse also, if you marry outside your caste, I will reward you with 25,000 rupees out of my pension. I mean it. Raise your hand. आसान बात नहीं। अब ऐसे ना कि English fluently speaking, full of grammars, sophistication, Western style, is equated with intelligence and then. अरे भाई, आपको हिंदुस्तान का सही नक्शा कौन बताएगा? जो गांव में पैदा हुआ है, पुकार रहा है, गरीबी मजदूरी की है, वो अच्छा बताएगा आपको सोसाइटी के बारे में? Yes, I will stop. 5 minutes now? Okay, no problem. I will stop. Now, their experiences are ignored and undermined. I would rather say those who have come from village, handicapped, financial backgrounds, those who are first generation learners, those who have studied through the mother tongue, should write their daily life. Even at this is not the Kashi Banaras, वो भी गंदा है, in the sense कि इसमें discrimination नहीं है, one can't say this. Do you think it is not there? This is island or what? All that comes in here, but here the check and balance is little stronger. But the question is this, okay, it becomes like this, I speak very good English, I speak very bad English, broken English, so I take contribution lower. That's what I have taught. That's the psyche there. And those who speak very high, good English, that Western mannerism, one guy told me, when traveling from Mandal to home, by the local train, I entered the coach, that first traveling. That guy told me, this is first class, don't sit here. वो मुझे बोलता है, I want you to interpret this situation. और card ये आपका ये card, this is the symbolic representation of the basic, gross, socio-cultural realities. You see, Indian sociology is biased. I'm sorry to say this. They are not studying caste artificially, honestly, mostly done by marriage. I'm not against marriage, but by virtue of history, social practice, social tradition, they took over the economics, so they wrote. But the now question is this: the person, I'm not a rabbi, but if I write, or I speak, or I offer the discourse, I don't know who knows you as a sociologist. क्योंकि मैं उनकी आवाज़ में गाता नहीं, उनके धुन पर नाचता नहीं. The question is that best studies on Indian society are from America. Let me see. I dare say this. UK, US, particularly France, in teacher countries, their contribution is 10. You may accept, there is it. That's different. But Indian, right from Kureti to MS Srinivas to Dipankar Gupta, JNU professor, what he says, caste is a superstructure and class is the basic structure of Indian society. MashaAllah. ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत सुंदर है. What was it? How do you tolerate this? How do you tolerate this? And कास्ट पर बोलने से कास्ट स्ट्रांग होती है, तो क्या नहीं बोलने से कास्ट स्ट्रांग नहीं होगी? तो बताइए ना. Tell me. What is merit? Is it utter nonsense. Who decides merit? What is quality? Quality of education. Who decides quality? NCERT, IPA, MHRD. I have been on various committees. Ask me, I have to say. No one listens to you. Now, 125th birth anniversary of Dr. Ambedkar is being celebrated. I am invited by invitation. और मुझे मालूम है मुझे वहाँ जाके मैं क्या कुछ फीलिंग that's now the question is to make reality, to be responsible and to be sensible, well educated Indian citizen. There are things to learn, there are things to unlearn, there are things to relearn. Prepare the checklist. What am I supposed to learn, unlearn and relearn? Nobody, no professor will talk to you like this. I don't know. But the only thing I don't want, I don't expect anything in return. Only I expect is to keep in mind if your conscience accepts it. Otherwise, leave it. I stop here. I have not been able to really say what really I wanted to say because the time is constrained. I am prepared to go up to 10 o'clock. That's right. But the point is, I repeat, fine. Continue this. Once in a month. Openly informed. Let us have discussion together. Real learning takes place out of book and out of class. Believe me. Based on my 32 years service, I take this. No. This is not the 40% that takes place in the classroom. But the question is this, that in social sense, what are my daily priorities? What are my national level priorities? Personal की बात नहीं. What are my political की बात नहीं. But academic, intellectual and social priorities क्या? I used to advise the students, real final point here, those who are good in English and appearing to be liberal and socially sensible, please adopt at least 2 students, those who are not good in English, at least for a semester. Encourage, motivate, teach. एक बंदा अगर 2 स्टूडेंट्स बोल लेता है एक सेमेस्टर के लिए improve upon English language or communication, कितना फर्क पड़ेगा? So the difference between theory, classroom and practice. So I start with practice and then go to the classroom. Reality, facts on the ground, then to the theory. Not first the theory and then. That is how you have been taught in the Indian education. So the question is, it's not what you call it issue alone, that scholarship and fellowship. No. Professor Thora Chairman, once I met him, there in his office, because I happened to know he's from my district area. He took me himself to the room in the 4th or 3rd floor to show the godown full of applications for junior fellows. Full. It was waiting to get evaluated or screened. Full godown for last 2 years. बोले भाई देखो ऐसा है क्या? Work culture, dignity of labor, human dignity. Gवर्नमेंट तो कोई भी तारीफ करेगा भैया, पर मैं एज ए टीचर my approach has been to take all the first class merit ones, give me third class ones. That's the spirit. Thank you so much for your patient listening, and I didn't mean to hurt anybody. If anybody felt hurt, I would say sorry for that. Now it's open for question and answer session. But one philosopher said, it's very difficult to question than to answer. Please question. Ask the question. Thank you so much. Thank you. Introduce yourself. I hope you are not from place. Are you? You are a student here. आपका नाम बताइए.
from my question is regarding the intercaste marriage. Regarding intercaste marriage. So one boy or one girl from such like the marginalized sections wants to marry to the so-called upper level. But what should be the rule of the upper boy or girl?
Rule?
Yeah.
A rule. What was it?
Rules.
Of the upper class house?
Means one boy or girl from the lower caste background wants to marry outside their caste. But I think they should not go to their caste. So that what should be the rule of the upper caste girl or boy to marry the marginalized sections community boy or girl?
Sorry.
I am saying that one boy or girl from the lower caste background wants to marry outside their caste. But what should be the role in these situations of the upper caste boy or girl?
Why do you expect that? Upper class boy will discourage you. वो तो वो अप्लाई करेगा अला इंटरकास्ट मैच है फिर हमको बस से करना है ये तो रहेगा ना दूसरा क्या है so don't worry about it you go ahead go back to my intercaste
सर जैसे कि पहले हिस्ट्री मैं एग्जांपल से बात करूँ एग्जांपल से क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा
हाँ जी आप हिंदी में भी पूछ सकते हैं
बिहार में रणवीर सेना का हमला जब रामेश्वर मुखिया की मर्डर के बाद रणवीर सेना का हमला हुआ हॉस्टल पे दलित हॉस्टल पे हमने ये ऐसे भी एग्जांपल देखे हैं हमने आईटी स्टूडेंट्स का मर्डर भी देखा है पुणे में हमने अब स्कॉलरशिप पे हमला भी देखा है तो अगर अब इसको नहीं रोका गया तो हमें आगे और क्या देखना पड़ सकता है हम लोग किस तरह की प्रॉब्लम को फेस कर सकते हैं
भाई ऐसा है I told you this is not the situation that will change out of the dressing Malampatti ka approach. You need thorough understanding, you need to be committed as a mission and you need to educate people and also you need to what you call it be very strong enough to protest. Otherwise it चलता रहेगा. The only thing is so like आजकल you know when I was like you that time the whole approach was holistic. Generally the upper caste and everybody would come and protest against any atrocity or any crime or against women or scheduled caste or whatever it is. आजकल क्या हुआ? Only scheduled caste talk, protest for their problems. OBCs don't, others don't. Only Muslims will speak for Muslims and on behalf of Muslims. Non-Muslims will never speak for Muslims. Ramesh at the target from the day one there and now also. You see who is the Brahmin, who is really against it and for it, or who is sitting on the fence. उसको कैसे convert करें? See, this is a dedication and sacrifice demand yours. You can't casually talk, sip that cup of tea and bring the change in the society. You have to sacrifice like the revolution is being sacrificed or Dr. Ambedkar and others being sacrificed. Now, the question is, Ambedkar, वो तो शरुआत थी. Why is he ignored his contributions, theoretical contributions, economics, right, politicians, so many things. He holds the qualities and the major basic contributions. Because Indian psyche is such that when does one feel that I am casteless? When that situation will come? How will it come? Brahmins want to be there only. Yadav Marathas want there only. Thakur want there only. But they want scheduled caste to come up. But they don't want to stay down and stay pure. मेरा नाम वही रहेगा, मेरी जमींदारी वही रहेगी, मेरा कल्चर वही रहेगा, मेरा प्रॉपर्टी वही रहेगा, मेरा शादी बच्चों का वही रहेगा. Why don't you make studies on the upper caste? And what are their views and opinions about the lower class population? There are Kerala Catholics advertise matrimonial only Catholic families. Why don't you study them? Empirically. These are the issues. Intercaste marriage. These are the issues. Language. Like clearly, like that book, Sensitizing Teachers and Principles brought out by NCERT. I have given that clear 5 indicators of caste. It begins with your name, surname, your language, your race, your location, locality. Am I right or wrong? It's true. Hindu colony, Mumbai. कौन रहता है वहाँ पे? गवर्नमेंट झपट पड़ती है। वहाँ कौन रहता है? कोई ब्राह्मण रहेगा वहाँ, मराठा रहेगा वो। तो ये आया कहाँ से? The whole approach has been one side in this country, in this society, in the moment, in the struggle. I stop. हाँ.
सर मेरा आपसे सवाल पहुँच जाता हूँ उस चीज़ पे कि जब आप जैसे आपने बात करी कि हायर एजुकेशन हमेशा से एक अर्बन बायस लेके चल रही है इस कंट्री में। सॉरी, अर्बन बायस लेके चल रही है हमेशा से। और मतलब मैंने अभी तक जो भी मेरे जो ऑब्जर्वेशन है, जितने मैंने लिटरेचर देखा है और समझा है अभी तक, उसके हिसाब से एक चीज़ ये भी निकल के बाहर आती है कि अर्बन जगहों पर उतना ज़्यादा कास्ट का फैक्टर काम नहीं करता है जितना ज़्यादा रूरल एरियाज में करता है। या 75% जो इंडिया है उसमें कास्ट का फैक्टर बहुत ज़्यादा काम करता है, जिसको हमें एक्नॉलेज भी करना चाहिए, उस पर काम भी करना चाहिए। लेकिन जब उसके साथ में हम ये भी बात करते हैं कि जो पावर का जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है वो भी रूरल के अंदर भी रूरल डिवाइड है और अर्बन के रूरल अर्बन डिवाइड है, तो पावर का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन भी अर्बन सेंटर्स की तरफ ज़्यादा है और वो पावर कहीं ना कहीं कैपिटल से ही आती है। तो अगर वो पावर कैपिटल से आ रही है तो कहाँ तक की क्लास इन कास्ट है और कहाँ तक की कास्ट इन क्लास है?
देखिए ऐसा है, दिस इज वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन और स्टेटमेंट। The process is called modernization and urbanization, believed to be a means for rationality, secularism, and the equality value. But what do you call it? There are new forms of caste identity, caste practices, caste discrimination. New, society reforms itself, modifies itself every time. It's not static. अब लोग ये भी देखते हैं कि बॉम्बे में क्या है, वैदिक कास्ट कहते हैं, नहीं है? आप मेरे साथ चलो। बॉम्बे सबसे मेट्रोपॉलिटन इंटरनेशनल ओल्ड सिटी, इज अ हब फॉर कमर्शियल एक्टिविटीज। यहाँ कास्ट नहीं है। बॉम्बे का बिजनेस बेस्ड ऑन कास्ट entire business is based on caste. Now, क्या है इसमें? It may not be at the major focus. It depends what approach you adopt to interpret that. आप कहेंगे भाई कल 100% था, आज तो 50% है, हम कह रहे हैं हमें 0% चाहिए. That's the demand of the Constitution. That's the demand of the art. That's the demand of humanity. My only complaint is this: if I am upper class, am I willing to give up? If yes, what are the indicators? If no, I am. And the scheduled class or the tribe or the OBC, they are also not willing to come out of their own. They have encircled themselves psychologically, socially. जैसा मुस्लिम के साथ जैसा खुलता है, शेड्यूल कास्ट साथ खुलता है, पंडित के साथ खुलता है, वैसा पंडित जवान के साथ नहीं खुलता है, मुस्लिम हिंदू के साथ नहीं खुलता है, या हिंदू मुस्लिम के साथ नहीं। ये बात सच है, झूठ है? You don't agree? तो why? हमें ये होने के बाद अगर कल फिर आऊँगा तो मिलेगा। Definitely yes. I am making heavy statements, I am aware. But if you say what you don't agree with my statement, please empirically उसको take up कीजिएगा, study कीजिएगा, publish कीजिएगा. That's how one can do. Otherwise क्या होता है कि हम वानखेड़े से कोई आए थे प्रोफेसर, रिटायर हो गए और अब करके चले गए। बात वो नहीं है, बात है the difference between you and me, the distance between you and me. your temptation to judge me, my temptation is to judge you. ये कब जाएगा? Why should I judge you by your name, surname, caste, and your beard and mustache, and your color, skin color? It makes difference. Now the question is your looks. The question is, caste to me is a curse to the Indian society. I have done one study. Caste discrimination in the UK and India. जहाँ जहाँ हिंदुस्तानी गया है दुनिया में वहाँ कास्ट लेके गया. Even in the UK, the bill was pending that the law should be there protect against caste discrimination. The Indian lobby, political lobby, there is to say there is no caste, there is no such thing in UK. There is no enough evidence. Now they have provided the evidence. The law is passed there. Law is passed there.
सवाल वहीं पर अटका हुआ है. एक लास्ट चीज़ पे सवाल अटका हुआ है.
नहीं,
एक लास्ट पे सवाल अटका हुआ है. मैं समझना चाह रहा हूँ उसको कि कितना कास्ट इन क्लास है और कितना कास्ट इन क्लास है, या ऐसा है भी या सिर्फ कास्ट है, क्या है?
Very good question. If you want to make me, I'm not generalizing, but my as a scientist, social scientist, understanding is this: class is a notion even today in India. Caste is the reality. Show me the class without caste. Show me the class without caste. Economics is not, poverty is not the base for any positive discrimination, any facility. Poverty is an issue, but poverty was not the base for interpretations and policy making. The question is this, again I am repeating, if one comes out with the empirical findings, where caste begins and where class begins and where both of them end, आप इस पर thesis लिखिएगा. Class is basically, according to my understanding, borrowed and biased concept for Indian society. In India, class is attribution. You are attention. Reality is the caste. If you think I belong to certain class, isn't it? As a retired professor, but I also belong to certain caste. So how do you manage caste from the class and where? वो सोचिए. वो हो नहीं सकता हिंदुस्तान, क्योंकि caste has taken very negative, strong turn today. It has become stronger than before. Caste has become stronger. Caste is in every religion in India. Muslims में है, Christians में है, Sikhism में है, Hinduism में नहीं है. There is no religion even without caste in India. वो बातें कुछ कहे ना कहे. There are Bangladesh sweepers among Muslims. There are barbers among the Muslims. There are barbers among the Hindus and among the Christians also. Now, the occupational theory of caste, origin of caste, and occupational attribution. Clean occupation, unclean occupation. Final last example आते हैं quickly I will. जहाँ मैं बेलापुर में रहता हूँ सोसाइटी में, हाउसिंग सोसाइटी में, सारे वहाँ वॉचमैन और काम करने वाले हैं यूपी के लोग, मिश्रा, तिवारी, पांडे, ये सारे don't mind. तो एक वॉचमैन बड़ा ईमानदार काम करना था अच्छी तरीके से. आप हिंदी समझते हो ना? हाँ. तो हम बोले भाई चलो उसको ऑफिस का अटेंडेंट बना. ऑफिस का अटेंडेंट मैंने झाड़ू लगाना, पानी भरना, ये करना. साहब बोले मैं तो पिछड़ा हूँ, मैं सब करूँगा, झाड़ू भी ले लाऊंगा, मैं तो पंडित हूँ. Now this is a challenge for you and for me, my dear. How to reach out to his inner mind, to convert it to negative to positive. ये कोई करना नहीं चाहता. Because that's not convenient. That goes against your interest. Okay, sorry.
We'll have two more questions. We can take it together and then we can wrap it up. Is there anyone else?
Sir, my question is related to the special component plan.
Please be loud.
Sir, जो special component plan है,
Special component. Yes.
जो डेडिकेट टू मनी only SC/ST community. तो इन महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट जो स्पेशल कॉम्पोनेंट प्लान का जो पैसा है जो SC/ST कम्युनिटी के डेवलपमेंट के लिए खर्च होना चाहिए, तो जो पैसा है कि जो महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट नहीं खर्च कर रही है, जो मोर देन मनीज है, जो स्कॉलरशिप फेलोशिप का जो मुद्दा है कि मोर देन जूनियर कॉलेज जो है कि महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट
आपका प्रश्न
वही है कि जो स्पेशल कॉम्पोनेंट बैंक का जो पैसा है जो SC/ST के डेवलपमेंट के लिए होना चाहिए,
नहीं होता है,
एजुकेशन के उनके डेवलपमेंट के लिए होना चाहिए,
नहीं
उससे सॉल्यूशंस क्या, हम क्या करें ऐसा कि नहीं हो रहा, हमारा जो मनी है
अरे
वो पैसा डाइवर्ट हो रहा है अलग जगह पे।
हाँ, आपका नाम क्या है? अच्छा, हाँ,
My name is Akshay. My question is quite
आप
similar.
लोगों की बात don't mind. Let others see.
My question is quite similar. The thing is, you know that you are talking about there are psychological barriers to people. There need to be an attitude change in people. So, but that is a very long-term thing that will happen over time, and all these barriers will be gone over after a long time. So, for now, as in the remedial solution, what do you propose to be?
Immediate remedial solution.
As in for now, the people who are suffering currently, what can be done for them?
That's very good question. Sit down. भाई आपका तो see, it's not only Maharashtra. All the states are doing the same thing. They are not, spending the money allotted for. They are not doing because the political voice to question that is suppressed, is locked. सारे अगर वो बात करेगा उसके खिलाफ तो उसको अगला टिकट भी नहीं मिलेगा, है ना? इस पर्टिकुलर करियर को भी हुए, बट द क्वेश्चन इज उनकी हिम्मत कैसी होती है, इसलिए कि आप और हम कमजोर हैं, हम यूनाइटेड नहीं हैं. वी आर नॉट यूनाइटेड, वी आर वीक, वी डोंट हैव इनफ नॉलेज एंड द फैक्ट्स ऑफ दैट्स इट. वो करो, आपके भारतीय इतना पुनादा करते हैं. Who will see? Who are your representatives? Ramdas Athawale. Huh? What is that? I have seen the parliament functioning from close or very late. Some of us. But I believe in parliament. I believe in democracy. I am not the person who is against it. But the question is, हम आपस में कब इकट्ठा हो सकते हैं एक दिल से और एक मकसद से? Your question is this: yes, what you say is correct, but someone somehow has to start to build a gap, and that gap will be built first by you and me, and it begins from today. That you take your pledge, I will try and know the entire ABCD of the whole nation. That's your contribution. That's your contribution. Number two is this: that if you are from the privileged background, you will, at least during the 2 years stay, help and support in all possible ways, other than finances, two students whom you find eager in study, in language, in whatever you call it. Confidence, can I cite an example? Maybe 30 years before, one student from this slum, I discovered him near the applied art admission. One day I was teaching in the course, Indian education system. One day at the gate, he takes me at the gate. He took me at the gate. And there was a man who was jhadu se road, cleaning the road. And the sir is my father. Tell me, whether cleaning the road with jhadu as a safai kamlar is undignified, or he should be proud of it, or he should hide it, or he should condemn it. See the psychology of the person. आपके मेरे पिता अगर वो काम करते हैं तो मेरी साइकोलॉजी कैसे करते हैं उसका कोई नहीं सोच सकता. Your contribution there starts here only, today itself. That's all. बाकी बाद में क्योंकि मेरा ये डायरेक्ट तजुर्बा अनुभव है, मेरे प्रोफेशन का भी आउट ऑफ दैट ऑल्सो, कि केवल बातों से 10 किताबें मैं लिखूंगा, 10 बात हमारे जाऊंगा, आपको क्या फायदा है? बट वी आर गोइंग टू बी प्रैक्टिकल. सो You come to me, you ask many students, know me, many cabin used to be open for all 8 hours, and whatever problem you have, social, psychological, private, personal, love, financial, academic, come to me. That was all. And I was known to be, even perhaps now, known to be a good students. मेरे पास आने के लिए थोड़े गद्दे भी थे students, मगर I don't spare when it's wrong. If I am wrong, I admit to say, I'm sorry I'm wrong. उसमें कोई हिम्मत चाहिए नहीं, अडॉप्ट करने के लिए बहुत मुश्किल होता है. Alright, it's long and I stop here. I expected actually more questions. I don't know why, but you kindly, where is that book? Yeah. This book is there in the library. I would urge again to please open it and read it carefully. Number 1. Number 2. This way, the person who called me during the lecture is the same person. Retired officer, 59 eyes badge. You can develop this, convert these papers into a thesis. Such a direct primary level facts he has given, because he is the party to it. If it is not your subject, there are subject I don't read out of this, because reservation, higher education, आपका विषय नहीं, कोर्स नहीं है, आप क्यों पढ़ेंगे? That is how it happens. But then, when I get things like this, then I think, अरे यार, ये तो कुछ गलत हो रहा है. So that, what you call it, one can take horse to water. I can force the horse to drink. और मेरी मलेरा ये है कि आज की माफ करना जनरेशन थोड़ा अप्रोच में कैजुअल लगता है. I'm sorry, casual in approach in everything, including your love and romance. Why I say this? I don't say कि मैं हम पुराने को बड़े स्मार्ट है, वो नहीं कहते. हम ये कह रहे हैं priorities have changed in a big way. Your priority is A+ grade. That's all. Your priority is job. I'm a mediocre student. 10वीं में मैं second class, BA में second class, MA में second class, PhD में second class, फिर PhD में कोई class नहीं. My parents were not educated. I am from rural village in Maharashtra. So I am proud of myself. But I want to share practically what I learned through my life with you, so that you grow and make your life a career. I'm not here to decide when you will get married and what you want to do. That's your choice. But इतना सारा बटोरा हुआ है, हम खाने की खाने के लिए कौन सा खाओ पहले है कि नहीं है, खाली को है सामने. कौन बोलता है? अरे भाई, गुजरात का OBC महाराष्ट्र में पढ़ने आता है तो बोलती है not eligible for scholarship. बिहार वाला भी कोई बोलता है, राजस्थान वाला भी कोई बोलता है. क्या करेंगे? सारा करप्शन. Let me tell you publicly. When the लाल सिंह यादव जी was the chief minister last term, उन्होंने 150 करोड़ का घपला किया, scam of the post-matric scholarships meant for scheduled caste. I am the primary witness. The IAS officers sitting in the ministry have shown me the facts and figures. कॉलेज दिखाए, स्कूल दिखाए, सैकड़ों में और 150 करोड़ रुपए खाते. This is one case. It happens everywhere, not only in UP or Bihar. It happens everywhere. Now the question is, what is your ultimate choice in life, career or priority life? First priority क्या है? Now as it is, like initially this issue is the last priority, or majority, absolutely. How to turn that into the first or the second? Not your personal life, intellectual life, academic life, and social life. Right? Take a look. Whole life. Which are the, how many NGOs are working for reservation policy? How many NGOs are working for exclusionary scheduled class? How many NGOs are talking about corruption in the education system. And DY party, Bharati Vidyarthi, all those, they are business centers. Nothing is. Privatization is the veil for societal crucifixion. That's how I end here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamani, for coming in this talk, and special thanks to Professor Bhante for sharing his thoughts on the topic and also to broaden our understanding about the issue. So the issue, I feel, the one aspect can be privatization and the attack on the higher education, but then the more deeper aspects are the economic and internal issues that are in India, which we also need to address. We give it 2 minutes with this announcement. Inviting for the song and play is conducted by students. We have curriculum students. It's called Bombay Solidarity. Bombay Student Solidarity. Basically, curriculum students from Bombay, IITs, AFR, IIT Bombay, and other institutes of Bombay. We are taking up this issue of cancellation of non-rate fellowship as a starting point and then trying to build a discourse around the issues of higher education. So we are doing a small campaign outside DH. We will start by 8:30. There will be a play and a song, and then there will be a campaign called Shiksha Ka Sikka. After this, on 26th of March, 10:30 AM, we will be gathering in front of Bombay University, and then we will put forward the campaign in front of the public and the press, and also we will have a notice. So please do join for both these things. 8:30 outside of DH today, and 26th November outside Bombay University Arena campus.